Tesla. Okay, let's go through this. Tesla CEO Elon Musk says he opposes EV tax incentives, tariffs on Chinese EVs. Why would he say such a thing? Let's go through it. Rob, is this a video?
Yes.
Go ahead and play this clip. Go for it.
In favor of no tariffs. I'm also actually in favor of no tax incentives for EVs, but provided that there are also the tax incentives for oil and gas must also be eliminated. So I'm in favor of no tariffs and no incentives for electric vehicles or for oil and gas. And if they're all taken away, I think that would be for the best.
So it's back to what you were saying about truth. You want the truth of the price?
I think generally things that inhibit freedom of exchange or distort the market are not good.
Okay, you're saying that, right? Now keep this in mind. Tom, while he's saying this, talking about the EV market, just 10 years ago, you know what America's tariff was on anybody trying to sell cars in U.S.? So think about BMW Germany. Think about Toyota Japan. Think about China trying to sell a car here, right? Okay. What do you think the tariff was? Do you know the number on
what
this?
Year? What year?
10 years ago, pre-Trump.
23%.
I don't think it was a tariff.
There is a tariff, but what do you think the number was?
Very minimal.
Give me the number.
5%.
2.5%.
Yeah.
I went crazy.
Trump took it from 2.5% on China to what? 25%.
I said 23.
Do you know what Biden just did?
What?
Can you pull this up, Rob? Put Biden, China, tariffs, 100%. Okay? So Biden just did this.
100?
100% tariff. That's 2 weeks ago. 100% tariff rate on EVs will protect American manufacturers from China's unfair trade practices. This action advances President Biden's vision of ensuring the future of the auto industry will be made in America by American workers. So check this out. He makes this 100% tariff. 4X is what Trump did.
Wow.
Now, why would he do this? Have you guys heard of BYD? Have you heard about the BYD cars?
The Seagull.
Okay, Rob, go to BYD. So this is China's BYD car, okay? If you go to BYD, this is their car. Okay, this is what they build, okay? Rob, can you go to cheapest BYD car price? Cheapest BYD car price. Look at this, $9,700.
What?
Yes.
The Seagull.
Its starting price is $9,700, which is about 5% cheaper than a previous model. Their cars are getting cheaper, Vinny. The new BYD Seagull has 30 kilowatts and battery, good for 190 miles, and 252 is the next one, but it's $9,700. And comparable to our cheapest EV that we have, which is $35,000, they're nearly 4 times cheaper than us. 4 times cheaper than us. So now, if the tariff is at 25% only, and they bring this car to U.S. to sell, you know how much he's going U.S.? $12,300. Okay?
Still a great deal.
It's nothing compared to what we have.
Oh, man.
But even 100%,
it's still,
if they put 100% tariff, these cars are coming here and they're going to sell it for $19,400. So when Elon is saying this, I want to read this to you from 2 people. One is from Elon. So check this out. Elon Musk said this is Chinese car companies were the most competitive and will have significant success outside of China. Keyword he uses, depending on what kind of tariffs or trade barriers are established. Listen to his words, Rob, if you can just literally right there. Chinese automakers were the most competitive and will have significant success outside of China, depending on what kind of tariffs or trade barriers are established. He said this 4 days ago. When did Biden put that 100% tariff? May 15th. What's today's date? The 28th. So he said this on the 24th, 9 days after Biden puts the 100% EV tariff on there. And by the way, do you guys know right now, I have to show you this chart. And by the way, let me go to another one for you. CEO of Stellantis. Tom, can you tell everybody who Stellantis is? Because most people don't know who Stellantis is.
Chrysler. It's the new way to pronounce Chrysler as of 2 years ago. They kind of rebranded.
Look what he says.
Daimler Chrysler.
The entire industry is worried about the magnitude of what Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares calls it, ready, the China offensive, companies that can't match China's low-cost EVs are going to be, ready? Keywords, in an existential problem. Told Bloomberg, Tavares told Bloomberg, an existential problem. These guys are worried because we can't make the cars as cheap as they make it. We can't. We can't make the cars.
It's all the stuff because everything's coming from China. All the parts, all the.
Well, this is the reason that manufacturing was outsourced.
I got a bunch of charts I'll show, but I'll go to you guys right now. Give me your thoughts on this, and I'll continue with this.
Look, at the end of the day, I mean, what do you say about capitalism, Pat? You have the freedom to buy, the freedom to sell, the freedom to try, and the freedom to fail.
Yes.
The reason that all these trade agreements and outsourcing and manufacturing is because they'll work for nothing in China. They get child labor. They got no labor laws. They go, what's going on? I mean, how much would you pay for an iPhone if it was made in America? $5,000, $1,000, whatever it is. Whether it's toys, whether it's products, whatever type of goods, whatever type of pharmaceuticals, it's just cheaper in China because they're, the GDP per capita in China is like 5 to 10 grand a year, where in America it's 50, 70 grand. The reality is we're better at services. We're better at technology, better at STEM, science, tech, engineering, math. That's what we're better at. And let the people that will work for cheap, whether it's China, whether it's Mexico, whether it's India, whether it's certain parts of Southeast Asia, work for basically nothing. And I'm not surprised that, the Reagan doctrine back in the 80s, Tom, you probably know better than me, was free trade, open markets, pro-immigration, and since Trump, it's reversed. It's anti-immigration. I totally understand that with the border. It's definitely not free trade. It's tariffs. But low-key, sneaky peeky, Joe Biden is tougher on China than Trump regarding tariffs. I wasn't expecting that.
Bullshit. Let me explain. It's election year, and cars are made by the UAW. This is this tariff is attempting to win votes from the 100%. UAW. And that is what's going on this year, number one. Number two, the Stellantis CEO is right. He called the tariff a trap. And here's why it's a trap. Not too many years ago, OPEC decided to reduce the price of oil on a worldwide level to squeeze very specifically the North Dakota shale and the Alberta, Canada oil sands because they were beginning to pull oil out of those other types of resources as opposed to just large oil pools that live under Saudi Arabia. In other words, this oil that was in North Dakota and Alberta was harder to get out. Well, guess what? They needed oil around $55 a barrel or so to make it profitable. So the Saudis said, I'm going to keep oil all the way down at $45. Remember that? Under 50. So that made it economically infeasible for North America to get that kind of oil. Guess what happened? Innovation struck, capitalism struck, and they said, well, if it's going to be $55, if it's going to be $45, we got to work on it. And they actually got to the point where they took about 12 to 15% off the extraction cost because capitalist inventions stepped forward. So guess what? The Saudis tried to trap it, and now we can get oil sands out of Alberta, and we can get the shale out of North Dakota even better. What does that mean? The Stellantis CEO is right. He said, this is a trap. Let's put the pressure on ourselves to do it better, to do it cheaper, and to get it done if that's going to be the way of it.
There's one problem, though, Tom. There's one problem with this, and I'm all with you because I'm all capitalist.
I don't think you can close the whole gap.
No, but hear me out. Let push back on what I'm about to say to you and find leaks on what we just found here. I want you to push back on what I'm seeing because I know you follow this closely. So can you pull up, Rob, the Q1 results of, not that one, go to Q1 results of stocks right there. This is EV stock performance in America. EV stock performance in America. Look at the lowest one. You can't find that one, can you? You see the orange one all the way at the bottom? That's Fisker.
Yeah, exactly.
Fisker is down 98% for the year.
Oh, man.
Vinny, did you hear? Q1. Fisker is down 98%. Look at Rivian, down 48%. Can you zoom in on all this stuff on the right? We can see the numbers better for the audience. Zoom in a little bit. It won't allow you. Okay, there you go. NIO is another one, down 47%. Xpeng is down 45%. Lucid is down 31%. Polestar is down 30%. VinFast is down 29%. Tesla is down 29.2%. Auto is down minus 12.5%. And then the only one that's up 24.8% is this Nikola, which I think is a hydrogen driving car. That's a very unique, different story that's going on there, but nothing crazy, right? So you look at this, and you say, okay, why are all these guys down, including Tesla? By the way, during the same period, I looked at to see how BYD performed, maybe to say, well, everybody is down. BYD is only down 0.5% for the years, the China car. Now, go to the next slide, Rob, if you could. So, not this one. Go to the other one. Okay, so here, this is interesting. Minerals in electrical vehicles versus gas cars. Green is what it takes to build EVs, okay? Green is the EVs, black is the gas cars, okay? So zoom in a little bit from the biggest green to the smallest green. So to build an EV, you need 66.3 kilograms of graphite, okay? Then you need 53.2 kilograms of copper. For gas, you only need 22.3 kilograms of copper for a gasoline car. For EV, you need 39.9 of nickel. You need 24.5 of manganese. Okay, you only need 11.2 kilograms for a gas. You need 13.3 of cobalt, 8.9 of lithium. Anyways, this continues, right? All these rare metals that you need. Well, guess what country, natural resources, has the most of these rare metals? Go to the next slide.
China?
Red China.
Weird.
It's not even weird. It's luck. It's got nothing to do with weird. It's like Venezuela has gold. It's like Saudi Arabia has oil. Venezuela has oil. You know, the part that is deeply concerning for me on why they're able to dominate is because they have the minerals in their country to build it so cheap. So now go to this next thing here. Historically, I want you to think about this thing here. Rob, don't pull this up yet. I don't want them to see it. Historically, look at me here. Historically, Tom, Vinny, Adam, me, all of us, when we think about a automaker internationally selling a car in America and dominating, what company do we think about?
Porsche,
Volkswagen, Toyota, Nissan.
Ferrari.
Okay. Where is Volkswagen from?
Germany.
Okay. Where is Toyota from?
Japan.
Tell me a single car that's ever come to U.S. from China that's dominated. Tell me one single car.
Honestly, I don't know.
I don't think so.
That's the point, because they can't compete on the gasoline side.
Oh, got you.
But they can in EV. So watch this number that I just saw. This next chart may give you the chills, because this is probably the most scariest chart out of all of them that the next one that he's going to pull up. Go ahead and pull it up. Check this out. Zoom in. This is from 2010 to 2024. China cars are heading mostly to new drivers in emerging markets. Look at this. Whoa. 2010, China's last place. 11, last place. 12, last place. Last place, last place. 2020, they pass up U.S., and we're declining. They pass up South Korea. Then they pass up Germany. They just passed up Japan.
Oof.
China is officially number one. In how many years from last to first? In less than 4 years. Look at it.
Yeah, look at 2019.
From 21, in 3 years, they went from last to first place, simply because of their EVs. And by the way, the CEO of this BYD company is being interviewed. It's a lady. And they're like, so what do you think about the fact that, U.S. is putting all these tariffs, and, what does it need to be for you guys to go to America? Because BYD's not in America yet. She says, well, in an interview, if I find a link, I'll send it to you. You should see how she talks. She talks super confidently, like she doesn't give a shit. She says, well, in order for us to do business with America, America has to create a more friendly climate, and they just don't have that right now. If they make a more friendly climate, we would love to sell our cars in America. So, Tom, you see the power they have with minerals. How do other countries compete with China when it comes onto EVs?
Well, there's a deeper question, because the number one mineral that you need is lithium. And this becomes an energy question, because you know what the greatest source of lithium on Earth is?
Don't tell me. Lithium. Afghanistan?
The ocean.
Oh.
And however,
Close.
And by the way,
It's down the street.
Very
the
close.
water crisis,
Yeah.
you could desalinate the ocean, but it takes energy, lots of energy, and then you have waste products that come out. But check this out. If you go to, I think it's 5th generation, 6th generation, Pat, nukes, and you put them on the coasts, you can have all the lithium and you can have all of these desalinated water you want. It's just the will to do it. But right now, the playing field is tipped toward China on the raw materials to make EVs. the same way that in the 70s, before oil exploration and efficiency, came to, the U.S., OPEC was the supplier. So they had all that. So they could make the rules. And right now, China is going to be exporting these things all over Europe to a very willing Europe. And it's the UAW
But Tom, you see the power that they have.
Oh, it's huge market power. I'm acknowledging this is massive market power. And what you need to do, you need to have the will. Like if you were President Pat and I was your Secretary of Energy, I'd say, Pat, we need next gen nukes, and we'll have desalination. We're going to figure out the water crisis that way. And we're also going to use that incredible amount of energy to get the lithium out of seawater. And we're going to support the auto manufacturing right here in the United States.
But Tom, how much of this 100% tariff to China is going to affect the relationship with the Biden administration and China? Because if you think about it, he's in their pocket. The last time a president tried to, hold them accountable for taxes and tariffs, a virus came out of that same country and destroyed the world for years. So
I stand by on that, but I want to see what Tom.
Okay. I stand by what I said. That this is an election year, number one. Mm-hmm. This is also, and by the way, you saw on that chart, all the EV companies are together. The core EV companies that are going to survive are together at 30% down. Tesla, Lucid. That's where they are. And Rivian has got its problems. Fisker has got huge problems. And that's where they are. But I think this is election year. This is the UAW, and this is protectionist policy.
Well, here's what I'll say, Vinny, because you're asking the right question. Because the last time Trump did this and put tariffs on top of tariffs on top of tariffs, he lost the election.
Yes.
And whether you want to say he got involved, China got involved, did whatever they did, who cares?
Yeah.
Xi is right now sitting down and saying, wait a minute, this guy put 100% tariff on us and we can't negotiate with him. I can't talk to him. At least the other guy would call me and tell me, hey, just so you know, I'm about to put tariffs on you, but you may want to change your position with us, right? Yes. So who knows? China may also take a different position here and flip on him. Rob, can you play that clip of the CEO talking about why they're not coming to the States? And look, I want you to look at her and see her temperament. Okay, just see how she's answering. Is she answering confidently or nervous? Go ahead.
I don't think we don't consider U.S. market, at this time because it's too complicated politically. You don't need necessarily to go to every market. You only go to the market you feel is ready. Everything is
that's a shot.
Waiting for you. Then that's our approach. Like one is a BYD resource. Let us focus on other markets. It's already occupy a lot of resources.
Phenomenal music.
And the second, it's not necessary for us to come to US.
It's
maybe sometimes,
necessary.
but I don't see that.
Look at her.
I don't see
her
that.
Her fingers are on the Andrew Tate.
Yeah, she is. She's totally Tate.
She's in the G.
Yeah, but while you're listening to this, here's what some critics in the U.S. are saying. You ready for this, Tom? Here's what they're saying. Some critics are saying, well, China's facing deep challenges because they're running out of inventory of the amount of people to sell cars to. What are they going to do? How many total EVs do you think have been sold in China?
Of these type of vehicles?
Total, not just any EV. That includes Tesla. How many EVs you think exist in China?
Jeez.
Tom, there's 1.5 billion people there. Total number of EVs. What do you think?
That they've made over there?
No,
that
driving.
People are using them.
I know the number. I want to know what you guys are going to say. Give me a number on what you think.
Out of how many billion?
Out of 1.5 billion. And by the way, we even looked up how many total people they have that can drive a car. It's around 530 million people that can drive a car.
So I'm going to say 500,000.
No, it's not 500,000. It's more than that.
I was going low. I thought that was going to be a trick question.
5 million of them?
21 million, 22 million.
Out of 500.
So check this out. 21, 22, what's the number right there? It's a
very low percentage.
20.4 million, okay? So 20.4 million legal plug-in passenger cars, okay? Out of the 21 EVs that they have, there's 530 million drivers. They can 25x if they wanted to go to all EVs. It's the last week to compete for the Manet contest. If you go up to the Manet contest here, if you haven't yet downloaded the app, Rob, if you want to go to some of the Manet QR codes, download the app, start asking questions and participating with different folks that what we have going on right now. There's a couple new guys that came on that are starting to get a lot of Manets.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.